Okay, so it's been a while since I last recorded. Um, that's because um, it's just been a while. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move some stuff here. If I'm smart enough, I hope that's better. Well, for me, it's better. I don't know about I don't know about for y'all. Either way, so it's currently 1 in the morning, 1:06 to be exact, and I'm not planning on working too hard. Um, all things considered. Um, Now, to me, I don't know what clarinet this is. You will already know because it will be posted. What am I in for? Buffet, and well, doesn't say it, but this is buffet too. So here's what I got. So obviously, I have not cleaned this instrument. This instrument is not clean, but the fact that this tenon cork's off and this tenon cork is on means to me that tenon cork is all right. Something I did a while ago means that, well, not okay. Rephrase that. Scratch that. Reverse it. Whatever I did, or whatever I didn't do, which is I didn't take this off, means that it's good to stay on. So we're gonna leave it on. Oh yeah, this is a sensational. This is a damn sensational. So that's good. Well, not that it's good, but you know. Ooh, I'm trying not to make a lot of noise. Okay. Yay. Okay. So, oop. Yeah. All right. What am I doing? Well, first and foremost, oh, it's all coming back to me. Well, not really, but I'm remembering a little bit of what I did. So, unfortunately for y'all, I put tenon cork, or not tenon corks. I put key corks on all of the keys for this next batch of videos that's going to come out. When you see it, I don't know. It is October 31st. So by the time you see this, I don't know when that's going to be because I have so many videos to put out, and this batch that I'm going to put out, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know when it's going to be. I don't know what order I took apart things. But God willing, they're going to come out. So I think for this video, we're going to put these to the side. And I remember this one because very ugly looking, but I think it looks not passable, but for me right now, it'll do. It'll do. We'll put the thumb rest on, and maybe when I need to do some crack / chip repair, I'll make a whole video on that. I think using whatever clarinet I may have at the time, just because it's very in depth, and you kind of, not that you have to know what you're doing, but you really do. I mean, you could say that about anything. I'm gonna move the camera. Okay. But that's neither here nor there. The point being is, it's a lengthy process. There's a lot that can go wrong. It's one of those where I don't see myself saying a lot could go right, because regardless, you have to drill new holes for the thumb rest, and you know, drilling is scary, especially when you don't have tools to fix what needs to be fixed, which say you drill through. And by the way, if I tighten too hard, guess what? So when you drill into a hole, you would have the screw be big. Where's my damn, here we are. The bigger question is, do I have a pen nearby? A pencil. Wow. Okay. So, like I said, well, not like I said, but I don't want this to be too lengthy because it's going to be lengthy a little bit, I say. Where's my cap? Oh, yeah, I remember what I did now. So, let's say you got a clarinet body that is just horrible. I'm not going with that one. say you got a clarinet body and you have your thumb rest like that or something. I don't know. You have your two screws, right? Well, let's look at it. Let me also just do this. That might be a little cool. Pretend that's a thumb rest. Those two holes, those two screws, if they get torn out and they take a chunk out like that one, it's no good. So you basically have to shift all of this down. I might actually adjust this. There we go. So you have to shift everything down or above it. Preferably you move it above. So basically you can't use that spot anymore, because what you would do is you'd fill in that crack, fill in the holes with grenadilla dust, and then you would sand it. File, sand, and then either use crocus cloth, which is basically like 1800 grit or like over 1000 grit or something. And then you'd also, or you could use, no, that's right, that's about it. Steel wire brush. You could also use the steel wire that you use on appliances. But either way, one of the biggest concerns when drilling out a post is inside clarinets. There's a thing called the bore. So that's the circle. That's the inner part here. So let's see. So you have this part where the tenon is, and then you have this part. This is part of the bore. The bore is what goes, through and through. That's the inside part of the clarinet. One of the problems, this is so, why was I drawing? I'm not even an artist or anything. The bore, a problem that can arise is you just drill straight through, because the bore isn't, it's very thick, sure, but when you're working with something like this, it's scary. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. I've been yapping for a minute, so I'm just gonna finish this. Basically, let's say you drill 2 holes, right? Your screws have to be sizably larger than those holes, so that the threads on the screws just go in further. I don't know. It's hard to say, but you want oversized screws for holes, because the holes are, say you drill too big a hole, then the threads don't catch. Then you're not going to be able to hold anything in. It's just going to be loose. So basically, that's what I'm just trying to get at. That's what I'm trying to articulate. Just say something. I don't know. Either way. So what do I want to do first? We got 2 options here. We have keys, and that's just, I'm just going to, so there's a lot going on. It's 1 o'clock, like I said. So the plan is, well, actually, I don't need this. I'm just fucking tired. Oops. Sorry for the language, but we'll need the barrel, because we're gonna, so we're going to put that to the side. I think we're gonna start with keys. Keys are usually easier for me. Well, not that they're easier, it's just cutting and, all this, like, just so much work. So I veto anyone's decision. If you were voting, no voting for you. So just looking at this, I'm like, oh my god. It's not, I don't hate doing my job, right? I don't hate this. For me sighing right there was like, it's a clump. It's 12 o'clock. Oh no, it's 1 o'clock. See, I'm already messed up. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and like, you can kind of hear how loud that is, or at least I hope you can. That's another thing. One of my recordings came up quiet, and I'm not a computer whiz. I'm not a computer guy, so if, say, this one comes out quiet, hell, I don't know. Well, either way, I'm just separating them, getting keys that don't need pads in, flicking them away. So we're gonna need 2 of these guys, 1 of this guy, and then 3 of these guys. That's for the lower. And then I'm just gonna pull it out. Look how much I got. That's my little stash. Like I've said, I've told the person who produces these, you need to make a name for these pads. Maybe by the time this comes out, there'll be names for this pad, but there's none yet. But I will say, oh my god, good golly, I will say that time and time again, no matter what they're called, I would use these pads day in, day out, night or day, just because they're just so good. They're just so good. It makes my job very easy. I can't glaze them enough. You know, it's like it's indescribable the amount of work that is saved by me. Like, oh my god! And then I'm like also like doing a little burp. I want to get my little mug and have a little drink. That was good water. But basically, I'm like, what am I trying to say? I don't even know. Let me see here real quick. Okay. I was looking at the manual for my mic because I was like, has that blue light always been there? Because the mic has a blue light on it. And I was like, have I been muted this entire time? And that would have stunk. Reminder, PSA. Remember to close your contact cement. It is the worst when it dries out. Just to show y'all, God, the video is dragging, but yeah, I reconstituted it. It looks a hell of a lot better now. So we're happy with that. So that'll make the tenon cork easier. Luckily, this is one that only needs 1 tenon cork. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to speed up a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much. We're going to move on to a different topic because, well, I done forgot what the last one was about. That's too big. So, I lied. We're going back to what I was talking about. So, with these pads, they're just a time saver. They're everything I want and more. Now, the person that I get these pads from, they're constantly being called by people to do repads. People want these really bad, which I don't blame them. They are just the right density, just the right firmness. They feel fantastic. Words do not do them justice, I'll say. I will say this for this clarinet. I think, at the very least for this batch, because we're just going to keep doing different things all the time, and, you know, there's no right option, right? So we're just going to keep doing things and seeing what happens. You know what they say, throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks or something like that. And that's what I'm going to do, more or less. I'm just going to keep pumping out this work, seeing what works, what not work. But I think for this bunch, I'm just going to, at the very least, put pads in separately, put tenon corks in with pads. So that's the plan. Depending how long it takes me to put these pads in, will really determine if I can do tenon corks. Because in this case, I think it might be a case-by-case basis as well, just because there's 1 tenon cork that I have to do on this one, and that's what I'm sticking with. I'm sticking with 1. If I had, you know, the time to do all tenon corks, and, you know, it sounds greedy, sounds, you know, horrible, but if it was for the right money, I would do whatever you wanted. Um, whether that's, you know, key fitting, doing stuff like that. You know, the most menial of labors, like fix my pad cup, right? Or something like that. Like mop the sunlight, or brush, sweep the sunlight, or something like that. You know, not that everyone has a price or anything, but yuck. uh, but I could be swayed into doing things. But for all intensive purposes, we are just going to chug along. And then also, as soon as I got home, ugh, as soon as I got home, I was just out of it. My head was horrible. It was like migraine overload. And what are you gonna do? And so it's just been punch after punch recently. But I mean, like I said, what are you gonna do? There's nothing you can do. So just keep moving forward. I love Meet the Robinsons. So we're just gonna keep chugging along. We're gonna keep moving forward, and see what we can do. But yeah, so as I was saying, I just came home with a huge headache, and God, it was bad. And yeah, it was just rough Thursday, because it's Thursday, And here I am just yawning. I'm sorry, everyone. But hopefully, if I can get at least this done, and, well, like I said, maybe, because I don't know. Here's the thing. Here I am trying to put everything away while I'm trying to, do the work. I hope everything's been on camera. I think it has been. Haha. But here's the thing. I don't know. I think I like the idea of having different videos have different clarinets in it. Like, say, I don't know. For me, if I were to doing 5 tenon corks, like, that's not a bad idea. If I was doing 5 tenon corks across 5 clarinets in one video, that's fine. But I want to show you what doing a clarinet looks like, and perhaps you can glean something from that. And that's not to be like I'm showing you everything, because there's certain things that I'm not showing. One, for time's sake, and two, because I'm gatekeeping. I'm gonna kick the ladder down. No, I'm joking. But it ultimately just depends on what goes on, because I'm a one-man show right now, with the YouTube and all that. I really do sound old sometimes, the YouTube. But so I'm doing what I can, and that's all I can really say. I'm just doing what I can. But I do want to keep things to be per clarinet, because I don't know. Look, I'll show you here in a second once I put these last two in, because I don't want to get sidetracked. Because hopefully in the couple videos that I have posted, you realize by now, hey, this guy, he's kind of stupid. But sometimes I just fucking don't think right. My brain don't work good. Okay, so just real quick, look, here is the bane of my existence with this batch, the Selmer Omega. I cannot get that off, but I'm able to make it move, so that's better than what it was. And so it would be the same thing as this, where I have to put all the keys on, all the not keys, the the pads and all that. And so I'm always going to show this. You're going to see this. So keep in mind, the sensational comes out before the omega. So if you see the sensational video before the omega video, that's right. If you see the omega video before the sensational, I uploaded wrong. Oops. Or I just uploaded out of date. And so either way, I have 2 tenon corks on this to replace. Obviously, 2 tenon corks is going to take longer than 1 tenon cork. So whether that extends the video or I have to make a separate one, that's something I want to keep in mind, you know, because I don't want to have like Somer Omega Part 7, because I spend 1 episode changing 2 tenon corks, you know. So, oh my god, we're gonna power through. But at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. I was gonna say so, my little catchphrase. So I've been having a little issue here. I'll go into it here in a second, and maybe if you've seen enough videos, you'll be like, why is he doing that? But it's not like a huge problem or anything. And here's something I like about the torch. The torch gets things heated up. It gets everything heated up faster. But it also doesn't, like, in a normal torch, a normal acetylene torch or something like that, things evenly get hot. With burners like this, it's just precise point, and it's all focused. And I'm able to hold it from right here. If I had a normal torch and I was trying to get something off, right here it would already be hot. So luckily, this isn't that case. This isn't one of those cases. So, you know, very happy for that. But where was I going with that? I don't know. So basically, yeah, I prefer torches, honestly. Well, it really depends on what I'm doing, because torches are great. They are great. That torch is stunning. But I can do a lot more with a acetylene torch than I can with what is this? A blazer. They call this a blazer, and this has butane in it and all that. But either way. So with this, I added more glue than I normally would, being with different glue sizes, because I've been having a little trouble with these pads. What? No, I haven't been having trouble with the pads. The thing is, I just haven't been putting enough glue, so it's my fault. It's not the pad's fault. But despite all that, I've been getting the clarinets done. They've been sounding wonderful. So it's a testament to the pads. Like, basically, I was too light up front, and they called this 6 o'clock. So in relation to the arm, you have 12 o'clock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So at 6 o'clock, I was light, but at 12 o'clock, I was heavy. So I needed to push back on this side, pull it out this side. But I'm lazy, and I'm a piece of shit. And so I just tap, 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 tap. And then if it levels itself out, it levels itself out, which it should. But since I didn't have enough glue, it wasn't. So hopefully, me putting in a little more glue than I would a larger bead helps it. And hopefully I'm not just talking out of my ass. So, yeah. Down to 4, and then there were 4, and we're at 24 minutes. Not saying I like those odds, but I kind of like those odds. Because truth be told, I'm just a whiner. And putting tenon corks on, they're easier than what I make them out to be. Well, gosh, I'm just not gonna stop yawning. I think there is a clarinet that I'm gonna do 2 parts on, and you'll see it right. Well, you won't see it right after this one, but it will be right after this one. Look for the long sleeve. By the way, I live in Texas, and it is currently. Let me see. Let me pull up on my laptop. See, here I am getting distracted. I'm like, where do I look at weather? Weather. Let's see. It's 52 degrees outside right now at 1:32. So it's long sleeve weather time, which I'm not adverse to. I don't hate the cold weather. You know, I lived in Minnesota for a year to go to repair school. I'm going to do 3 in this one, and we're going to see what happens. I usually only do like 2, but I'm just going to go with 3. Just because I'm feeling a little dangerous. I put the cancer in my mouth, but I don't let it kill me. And then watch, it comes out everywhere. I'm like, no. Ugh. But down to 3, and then there were 3. But yeah, you know, it's fucking, we're doing great. At 27 minutes though, not really, but I keep getting sidetracked and I keep yawning, and you know, there's different factors to things, but at the end of the day, you can only do what you can. So I'm just gonna grab onto this because I don't feel like grabbing over here and burning my. Also, you see that on my pinky? That's not Sharpie. I fucking pinched my finger on a fucking thing. It was horrible, and I started bleeding underneath my skin. Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. That's a little small one. I kind of want a big one. Boom. Well, now that seems too big, right? We're gonna go for a medium-sized one. We're gonna go with that and see how that works. Because remember, I'm leaving glue in the pad, the pad cup. I definitely didn't hit that hard enough. But leaving glue in the pad cup, and at the same time, these pads that I have, that I could talk about endlessly, they have an adhesive backing. So, you know. So you have a tiny little layer of glue. God, so nice. So nice. Like, it's like you're touching, like, I don't even know. It's indescribable how good that feels. Well, whatever. Yeah, I think the plan is get this tenon cork on, do that clarinet, or not do it, but the first laugh wasn't, you know, meant to be anything, but that second one was, because I was like, I'm funny. But yeah, I think I got a plan. Unless one of my other clarinets has happens to have only one tenon cork, which I don't believe so. I think I have that Selmer, which has 2, and then I have this other one that has 3, which is full tenon cork job, and then I have one more after this. So I have 2, 3, 1, and then another, and we'll see what the another is. It reminded me there. How can I have s'more if I don't even have one? And I'm like, Dude, you're a fucking idiot. He said s'more. He said s'more, not more. You're killing me, Smalls. Smalls, go back to school, dude. One thing I'm noticing on this key, it's a little pink. I'm going to do a little something, which you may not like. And it may be loud, so warning to anyone, earbuds, whatever. I don't know how loud this is going to be. I don't even know if it's getting, my voice is getting picked up into the mic, but we're going to go for it. So you have to be careful when doing what I just did. You could very easily pull on your entire setup like I just did. I'm just going to quickly give it a little polish. I have a polishing cloth here off camera. And looks a little better. You can still see a little pink, but what are you going to do? Alright, so there's that. Step 1 done. We are done with step 1. Now we gotta lock in, because honestly, recently I have been disliking tenon corks, doing tenon corks. Because not because I'm not good at it, because I am. I'm good at everything. But more so because for me, they've been inconsistent, and the inconsistency comes from my glue. I can never have a consistent glue. I either have it too thick or too light. I'll never have it at a right consistency. That's something I've come to terms with. Either way, we're gonna lock in for. Hopefully, I can get this done within the next 8 minutes. That would be fantastic, because we're already at 32 minutes. The more I yap, the worse it gets. So I'm just gonna grab a razor blade. I'm gonna do my little thing. I've heard of people who just cut it with the cork. I will never do that. That's not because it's bad. It's because I can't do that. I'm not good like that. But I know my method. This is a tried and true method. Well, it works when you don't have like repairs done to the clarinet. And the way I know this has been repaired is you can just see it's like uneven. You can see it's uneven. But it doesn't affect anything in the long. Well, it kind of does, but not in the long run. Like I was gonna say, kind of interrupted myself there. Okay, get the razor. I kind of like that squeaking sound. It sounds like a little mouse. I'm not gonna do it because I can't do a good mouse. Whoa. Let's see. That's pretty damn close. Pretty damn close, I will say. I like this side better than I like the middle and the end there. So we're gonna use. Oh my. We're gonna use. We're gonna use this side. That's all I'm trying to get at. God, I always remember, use fresh razors. Fresh razors will save your life. Because right here, oh my God, I keep slipping. Right here, a clean razor will save your life. Because guess what? This is where a lot of the time, good God, where the cork will just end up snapping. And I don't want that. So I'm just going to try and wiggle my way around this great fantastic. See, because when you're pulling, ooh, right there, tension. And with all the holes that come in cork, could be a very bad time. I'm gonna go for another pass because what was I talking about? Perfection is the enemy of being done. So let's not go further than that. We're gonna keep the no. We're just gonna get a new one because we're gonna need to chop off the end of that. Now, here comes a neat part. Well, it's not neat and it's not fun. You know, you get cork, contact cement, you get it everywhere. Normally, I would start on the other side, but because I'm already over here on this side, we'll go for it. Watch me do like the completely wrong side. That stink. But this is coming on fine. And it looks good. It'll dry pretty well. Back at Red Wing, we did a thing where, well, not we did a thing. I did a thing. No. We did when we were doing tenon corks and everything. We basically let the contact cement dry for like 30 minutes or 15 or whatever, and well, between you and me, you can actually just skip that. Like, it's not the end of the world. As long as the two surfaces are dry, that's what matters. I'm just gonna go around a couple times, and it's already looking pretty good. Like, I haven't even put cork on. I'm like, wow, I'm so good at repair. But there's always gonna be bigger fish. I don't claim to be the best, but maybe one day I will be. Now, the reason I'm going up here is just because there's some little cracks, not cracks, but little parts where there's not glue being spread around evenly. Normally, I would use I'm just gonna do it, because what have I got to lose? I got a little Q-tip, a cotton-tipped applicator is what they're called if you can't get Q-tips. And I'm just gonna go around. Now, I missed a crucial step. Because these aren't clean, I still have some wax / cork grease left around the rim. So I'm just gonna take that off. And then it's gonna get right on my fucking glue, so that's great. Luckily, crisis averted. But, you know, I like to have clean surfaces. This instance I didn't. And look, that's already like pretty dry. I'm gonna let it dry for a little longer while I get my situation over here sorted. Shit. So, like I said, I have not looked at a lot of these clarinets in a long time. And I'm in deep doo-doo because I just saw that last clarinet that I had is missing 3 tenons. So I have 3, 3, 2 to do. So that comes out to a total of 8 tenon corks. So what am I doing? No. Ugh. It's gonna be slog, whatever you want to call it. Whatever it is, I'm not gonna like it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm joking. Oh my god. Water. That's better. I like what I do, and that's what we're gonna say. It's just tedious. It's tedious work. Especially when it's 2 o'clock. If this was like 12 in the morning, I could just be happy and dandy and fine. What time is it now? It is 1:46. I lied. It's 40 minutes on my phone. So this is going to be a longer video. It's not going to get chopped down. I really don't like this, but I'm going for it. We're going to peel this little scamp off. Seems to stick. Shit. Whatever. And then shit again. So that's fucked up. Let's see, can I get away with just shifting it up? I think yes. Over here, not so lucky. But up here, very lucky. Let's see if I can't just push it in. Yeah. Let me see. Now there's two ways we can approach this. One is push it in. Two is sand it. We're going to try and sand it. And it should be enough. Because, well, why wouldn't it be? We can easily sand that down. We're going to sand it down. Okay. I'm going to close my laptop. Maybe move it away, because I don't want my I don't want the cord grease, the cork to get in there. Let's see. I like this one. It's thicker than that one. I cut that one anyway. Like, I made that. I need to make a new one, because it looks like this one might have some grease on it already. So what I was doing there is I was getting rid of the ridge. There's always a ridge. What am I saying? There's always a ridge when you come over and overlap it. Like I said, some people cut it like that and it'll lay over each other. That's not me. So, what the fuck was that? Oh my god. Oh my god, that would have been bad if we lost that. This is a needle spring. It fell out. I knew it. I was like, that's gonna go right there. So we're gonna see if I can't just slot that back in. Now see, it's pointing the wrong direction, I think. Or is it? You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna leave it out. I'll just toss it back in with everything and get it situated. Right now my brain's fried, but I felt something wrong. I blew, and then I felt it. I was like, something's not right here. And sure as shit, it was not. So that was very lucky that we managed to keep that, because I would have been like, what's going on here? So I don't want to go too hard. On this. Just because you can always come down from more, but once you've sanded this and say you go too far, you can't fix it. There's no fixing it. You have to start over. Like, damn, I fucked up. We're going bald. That's basically what it is. Now, I do have, like I said, still a bit of ridge here. But I'm going to get the tin and cork, or the barrel. What am I talking about? Doesn't even go on at all, so we're still fine. I'm going to rotate around. I'm spending too much time on that front. Or actually, rather the back. I was spending too much time on the back. Me personally, I like to let my sandpaper get chock full of cork dust, so I know exactly how much I'm taking off, because you see, this isn't going to take off like anything. That could take off potentially more. Still very tight, still very tight. Ooh. Goodness. Okay, after this, I'm going to put some cork grease on. We're going to do cork grease because I feel like it. Let's see. Is this my good one? Yay! I have several different cork greases, all of variable. Cool. Oh, this isn't the cork grease that I use. I just side-eyed it, gave it a super side-eye. Close clarinets. All right. So hopefully this gives us enough, leeway here to get that thing on. Get that dang thing out of here. It's a little tight. It's a little tight, but I think we can get it on. I'm not trusting that. No. We're going to go for it a little bit more. So I felt it get tight, and it was a good tight. But the thing is, you're very, very, very not in a good position, because you could easily just... Because what I'm doing is I'm just going guerrilla. By guerrilla, I mean like jungle warfare. I'm just going guns blazing is what I'm trying to say. The glue hasn't permanently settled, so there's still a chance for things to mess up. And between you and me, I'd rather not things mess up. Now, unfortunately, because I added cork grease, it makes sanding a little bit harder, because the cork grease just chalks up into the grit, and it also makes a sort of barrier when trying to get grip onto the cork. So, there's pros and cons to it, but it's not anything I'm worried about. Let's see. Still very tight, but I think it's enough. I'm gonna go with this tiny one, because I know that it hasn't gotten, well, quite a lot of love. Just like me. Alright. Now we're going to add some cork grease. See where we're at. See, there's nothing wrong. I know I was talking about we're going to do this fast and everything, but I don't care. I don't care if it takes a little longer for me to do something. I've said that before. The only reason why I wanted to go fast was because, like I said, it is late at night. But at the end of the night, that's a beautiful, no rocking tenon. Now, one thing that I like to do, I'll inspect it, make sure everything looks all right. I think it looks all right. It's not the prettiest, like I said, but it is good. It's a good tenon cork. And this is something that I do, and this could ruin all that I've worked towards. If that does happen, I will shut off the recording right now and you'll never see me again. No, I'll shut off the recording, but you will see me at pretty good. And that's what I do. I'm going to take this off camera, cross my fingers, because okay, thank God, thank God, oh my God. So, like I said, not the prettiest, because I had it come at a different angle, and you know what, I do hide things away, because I do get ashamed, and my thigh itches, but I do get ashamed. I do get like, fuck, I just fucked up in front of everybody. But at the end of the day, sometimes things like this happen. And see, there's still cork grease in it. That's fine. That's a beautiful 10 out of 10 tenon cork. Like, obviously, like I said, doesn't look pretty, doesn't look the best. But that, just feeling that, there's some pride in that. Ow, poked myself. But there's definitely some pride to be had in that. And so, part 2. There's part 2. Only took 50 minutes. Yay.